we'll discuss everything you need to know about your resume. So major questions that I'll answer is how long your resume should be, what to avoid in your resume, how to create your resume, how to create content, and how to place that content on your resume. So everything is answered within this video, so do watch the video till the end. So to start with, your resume should be 1 page long. Try to avoid exceeding the length of the resume more than a page, because the interviewer will not have so much of time to go through the content of your resume. He will just go through 1 page of your resume. So the maximum time that the interviewer will spend on your resume is 50 seconds. So try to cover everything within that duration, and keep the content directly to the point and keep it crisp. So firstly, the resume need not be colorful and glittery. You can keep the resume black and white, so that's not an issue. Try to avoid an image on your resume. If some company is very specific on adding an image on your resume, then only add the image, else try to avoid an image on your resume. This might create some influence by the interviewer. So try to avoid an profile picture or image of yours on your resume. Secondly, add direct links on your resume to your email ID, your LinkedIn profile, your contact number, and your GitHub profile if you have one. These 3 lines are an add-on to your resume. This will help increase the content of your resume. So you can add the coursework that you have done during the entire 4 years of your engineering or your bachelor's degree. So this will help you help the interviewer know what was your coursework, what all have you studied during your bachelor's degree or your graduation. So you can try to add your CGPA if you wish to, but if your CGPA is low and you do not feel comfortable adding your CGPA on your resume, then you can completely avoid it. One more thing to note over here is that if you have lesser content on your resume, then you can add your plus 12 and 10th score on your resume as well. You can give what was the subject that you took during your plus 12 and what was the score that you achieved during your plus 12. So even that is accepted. The next section of the resume is work experience. So during your 4 years of your 3 years of your during your 4 years of graduation, you will have various internships that you would have done in the campus or off the campus. So you can add both of them under this work experience. So if you do not have work experience, or if you haven't done any internships during your 4 years, then no worries, you can skip this particular section. You can add the timeline over here. Keep it in decreasing order. The latest internship should be on the top, and you can keep the others in the decreasing order. The next section is the publications. So this is one major section where I haven't updated this. It's a long back that I updated my resume, but bringing to your notices that you can add a few publications. This creates a high impact to your interviewer, because you have some research work that you have done and got it published somewhere on the internet, and people are referring to your publication work. So if you have any doubts regarding this publication and how to get a paper published, how to draft a paper, how can we create publications, how to get our publications accepted, then do watch my previous video where I have entirely told about 2 major journals where you can publish your papers, get your papers accepted free of cost, and also it's easy to get an acceptance over there in those 2 journals. The link to the previous video is also there in my description. Coming to the next section, it's the projects. So for those who have zero work experience or who haven't done any internships, then you can add to a maximum of 4 projects on your resume, and add 3 lines each about that project, explaining the project, what was the major contribution by you in that project, what were the major features of the project, and how is it impacting the society. So these 3 things you need to answer in your project description. So you can also add a link to the project if you have deployed the project somewhere. The interviewer will be really happy and exciting to see the project live instead of just viewing your project. So you can add a direct link to your project over here, like the way I have done it over here in my resume. So this is one way to add a link and get a positive impression by the interviewer. So once you have done with the project section, you can go to the next section, skills. So here in skills, you can add all of the skills that you have learned during these 4 years. So you can split up the skill section into various parts depending on what all you have learned. So I have split it up using this way. The last section is accomplishment and co-curricular. So you can, if you have less content in this section, then you can merge the two into one, considering like co-curricular and accomplishments, and add all of the achievements during the 4 years. If you have won any hackathon, or if you have participated in any event and you have completed some course and you have got some certificate, then you can add the certificate as well, the link to the certificate over here. Just upload the certificate to your drive and add a viewer access to your certificate and put up the link over here. After adding all of this section, the last and final important thing that you have to notice, how to get a higher resume score. So if you notice my resume, I have added numerical values to the end of each sentence, if you notice everywhere. So this numerical value, numerical numbers that I've added in my resume will increase the score of your resume. So some companies, what they do is they do not manually go through your resume. What they do is they have something called as automated tool to review your resume called as ATS. So how does the ATS algorithm work is, it will give you a higher score if you have some numbers to the end of your sentence. So this is one major thing that you need to note. So have put up, for example, like I completed a certified course, machine learning foundations at Coursera with a grade of 97.33%. So this will really increase the score of your resume. And also keep a few points bold, so that it will, if you have some highlighting point that you want the interviewer to know about you, then keep it in bold so that it will catch the eyes of the interviewer very quick. So this is one thing. The next thing is where to create your resume. You can use Google Docs to create your resume, or you can use Canva, or you can use Overleaf. So these are the 3 major platforms where people create their resumes. But I personally prefer creating your resume on Google Docs. Though the interface to create a resume is very not that good, but building your resume entirely from the scratch is really good if you have a lot of content. And then one thing to avoid in your resume is that two column resume, because the ATS algorithm is 1 column automated. So the ATS algorithm works only for 1 column. So if you have some 2 column resume, then please try to avoid it, because you will get a very less ATS score using a 2 column resume. So if you have any doubt regarding your resume, then do put it in the comment section. I'll get in touch very quickly, as soon as possible. Also, if you want this template to my resume, you can also edit my resume on Google Docs. You can create a copy of my resume in Google Docs and edit it yourself. The link to my resume is present below in the description. Do check it out and edit it yourself. And you need to get your resume reviewed by at least 2 to 3 of them, because your mistakes will be identified by others and you will not be able to identify your own mistakes. So please do get your resume reviewed from some person or some senior who has been placed in some company. Then do get your resume reviewed from them. If you want me to review your resume, then do add your link to the resume in the comment section below, or mail to technosiri12@gmail.com. We will review the resume and get in touch with you and give the comments on your resume free of cost. So if you like the content, do subscribe and like the content, and do share it across with your friends. Thank you guys.